Hi there, Lori here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a template and to save it for yourself. And to do that, I'm going to work from a sketch. I went to sketchsavvy.blogspot.com because that is a site that has a ton of sketches that are really cool. And what I also love here is that she's got listed more sketch sites that you can easily link to. You'll see that there are a lot of different sketches that we can scroll down through, and there's one particular one that I'm going to get that I'm going to work from to show you how to make a template. To begin with, you could just save image as and save it in a folder. I have a folder that I have a lot of sketches that as I see them and I really like something, I put them in there, and then later on when I have a chance I go through and make the templates. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy image for now and minimize this, and I am working in Artisan 4. So I'm going to paste that in and enlarge it to the size of the layout. Try to get it exactly lined up where I want it to be. And you'll see that I made a live text box and I put in the information because I wanted to make sure that I could credit it accurately afterwards. Now at this point, what I generally do is I start inserting shapes. And I start from the background up. So you can see that there's a rectangle in the background. What I'll do is I'll line it up. I'll try to get it exactly in the same place and the size that I want. And in this case, I also selected the fill and made it the same color. Also, it has a stroke around it already, and I think I just need to make that stroke a little bit smaller. Now from here, I am going to put it underneath so that it disappears. Now what I could do if I wanted to do it, instead of just inserting a rectangle shape, I could insert a photo frame so that now when I do this, I could pull in my papers and have them zoom up and get exactly the way I want them to be. I'm going to go ahead and just move this one below for the moment. And what I also want to talk about or to show you is that I am in Artisan 4. And the reason that I'm in Artisan 4 is because I can save as a .page file. If I were to do this in Artisan 5, I can only save as a .art page. So everything I'm showing you here, you could do exactly the same in Artisan 5, but then you would only be able to save as a .art page. I'm going to just keep inserting a few more of these shapes so that it gets to where you can basically see the buildup, but I'm not going to do every single shape on here. So for this one, I am going to say no line because there's no line up on that top piece. And if you look, that's that slightly lighter gray. So just for it to be able to maintain the look of the template itself, I could certainly go change that color. Whoop, wrong one, right there. Now this circle, these circles that are here, I can again insert and say shape, and this time take an ellipse. And these do have that line around it again. So if I wanted to, I could certainly put the line. I'm just sort of guesstimating at the size of it. That might actually be too big. No, I guess it's about right when I zoom it down. So I'm just sort of guesstimating to get it in the right place. Now with this, since there are several of them, I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste just a few. And this I will have hanging off the edge a little bit because afterwards I can cut it and make it look exactly the way I want it to. I'll select all of these, and on the arrange ribbon I will line these up, and then I can group them, and now I can copy and paste and line these up and try to get them about the same distance away from each other. Oops, looks like I actually need to ungroup. I'm so used to scrapping now in Artisan 5 that there are a couple of things that I've forgotten in Artisan 4. So you'll have to bear with me a little bit as I shift these and try to get them the right space. You'll see some of the little tricks as I do this. I'm deselecting each one and going 2 clicks over, exactly 2 clicks over, to maintain the spacing that I need. So with these at the end, I can now do my cut and fill with the straight cutter. And I'm going to keep the shaded section and cut. Of course, I can do that exact same thing over here. And then it's totally, keep the unshaded section, and then it's totally my choice whether I group all of these together, and that is something that I tend to like to do, is grouping things until I'm all done. So again, I will move that one down behind so that it's not in my way. And obviously you can see how I can keep building this out. Now I might not necessarily put a tag shape in there, although of course I could, but once I'm done, let me go ahead and put the photo. So I'm going to put the photo right here. That works out to a pretty good size. And then on the photo, I will go in and put a mat. Let's check the width of that mat, maybe a little bit more. Okay, and then another photo, copy paste, and I'll pull that one right down here. Now once I've got this built up and I've got all of these different rectangular pieces, at that point I will grab the sketch and I will shrink it down and put it over to the side. So that way I have it to refer to later on, and I can look back and see any details, because many times when I work my way through building my template, I will have sort of the basis, but I won't necessarily put on the embellishments and the little details. So obviously I need to put a background on this, and that's easy enough to do. I will put a shape, a rectangle. I'm going to just basically get it where I need it to be. Open that out. I'm going to remove that line, and then I am going to change this one. Whoop, not transparent, sorry. I'm going to change this one to match that black. Create, and then I'll drop that one all the way to the back. Now on top of that, you can see that there's a background here. I don't always like to have a background down there, so I can go to order, say make normal. I could pop it up and now just change the size so that it's sitting relatively similar to the way the template is, the sketch. You've seen me do a couple of different little tricks here that are maybe a little bit different, or seem like things that might be an extra step, and really what I'm just trying to do is to show you some different ways to do things, ways that you might not have thought about and you might find useful over time. So I'm just sort of tweaking these edges just a little bit, as much as I can, quickly as I do this. And when I get into edges, I often will zoom it up just like this so that I can really see what it is that I'm doing. It allows me to be a lot more precise. And then to the other side, just to give a look. Good. Now let's say that we've finished. Let's say that we've done everything that we want to here and we're ready to save this. We're going to go to File, Save As, Export Current Page. And when we do that, we're now going to go select where we want it to be. I'm going to go to my DigiKits, new from May templates, and usually I will have a folder with my name on it so that I know that I've made it. This is actually the first template I've made since May, so I don't already have a folder. But I'm pretty particular about how I name my templates so that I know later on that it is really one that I made. And I'm going to name this one with the Sketch Savvy and 164 so that I can refer back to it easily on this is exactly what it is. And then I hit save. So that was a dot page. Let me just go in one more time so that you can see this. Right here it defaults to .pa page because we're Artisan 4. If you were Artisan 5, it would default to .art page, and that would be your only choice in the page files. But we're going to go down to .page because that one is the universal way to do it. I'm going to cancel back out of there since I've already done it, and I hope you find that helpful. Go and play with some of the sketches or even some of the pages, the layouts that you see, and give this a try and save yourself some fun templates.